up, you at City Medical Foundation hold the 4th free clinic in Antelope Valley, Los Angeles. We go back to Aceh, Indonesia to see how residents are doing 9 years after the 2004 tsunami. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, in the United States, TMA medical staff and city volunteers held their 4th free clinic in Antelope Valley, Los Angeles, to help those who cannot afford medical insurance. This time, the free clinic included dental and ophthalmology services and helped a total of over 1,000 local residents.
Early in the morning, countless residents are seen waiting for Tzu Chi's free clinic. This Mexican family finally gets the chance to treat their children's dental problems.
My kids, they have application. No, it's fine. Like I said, it was hard to write this morning. She probably needs glasses, but I'm not so sure because she needs to be checked.
This person also came early in the morning to get his legs treated.
What time you come?
3:30.
3:30. So what kind of problem are you today?
The dentist and like I got some knee problems.
The free clinic was held in Antelope Valley, inland Los Angeles. The remoteness of the area means local residents lack easy access to medical services. As this is the 4th time TMA members organized a free clinic here, countless needy residents showed up prior to the day of the event.
She says she has suffered from migraines for decades and had not received any medical treatment previously. This time she may need to get quite a few needles.
Now I am injecting the flu vaccine. We bring 150 shots of the vaccine, so it's best to use them all.
The Obama administration's new health insurance system is underway. However, as ophthalmology and dentistry are not covered in the scheme, Tzu Chi's free clinic increased the quota for patients seeking such treatment.
This community is composed of young families and single families. They normally work for an hourly wage instead of a monthly salary. Therefore, they really cannot afford to see an ophthalmologist or dentist. That's why we are here today. We Tzu Chi volunteers hope to offer these needy residents timely assistance.
You like it?
Yeah, I like this one.
Which one?
Now I look like 18.
With TMA members' arrival, these patients find their smiles again, making the volunteers more determined than ever to continue to help those in need.
Also holding a free clinic are Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam who have teamed up with the local Red Cross since 2009 to provide medical services to those living in the remote regions of the Ho Chi Minh City. At the most recent free clinic held in Mo Hoa District's Long An province, some 700 patients received medical help.
In Long An province, Vietnam, seeing a doctor for free is a rare opportunity, so no matter how much difficulty there is in getting to the free clinic, local residents will still try to make it.
I just had surgery on my nose, and after seeing my eyes, the doctor told me I suffer from cataract. Once my nose has healed, I can then get surgery done to fix my vision.
These residents living along the Mekong River do not have spare money to get their health checked, and thus minor illnesses become major illnesses. Thankfully, Tzu Chi's free clinic has given them hope.
I'm very satisfied with the free clinic. With your love and care, we're well taken care of. The doctor even gave me a pair of glasses to wear, which I value and treasure.
The most popular department at the free clinic is ophthalmology, and the doctors in charge are Dr. Pei Ming Zhen and his wife. Out of their own pockets, the 2 retired doctors have purchased over 100 pairs of glasses to give to patients who can't afford them.
Those living in remote areas have little access to medical care. Some residents don't have glasses to wear even if their vision is bad, so during the free clinics, I will give glasses to patients that need them. Once they are able to see the world clearly again, they are happy. Their happiness influences us to continue to participate.
I think Tzu Chi is wonderful. They are very sincere in caring for our residents. I want to thank Tzu Chi for coming here to hold a free clinic and taking care of us.
Physical therapist Liu Taizhi brought his 17-year-old daughter to the free clinic to assist and participate in giving back to society.
I've participated in many different charity events, and the ones Tzu Chi organize are the best. They don't waste anyone's time and effort, so I try to participate whenever possible.
Seeing my father working at these charity events and not care about receiving a financial reward was surprising. I wanted to experience for myself what he felt doing volunteer work, so I'm here to help.
是怎么样的感受？我也想尽这体会。
At the conclusion of the free clinic, volunteers hand out a package of medical supplies and daily necessities to each patient who attended. In this region that lacks medical resources, this aid makes an appropriate parting gift.
Moving to the Philippines following the end of the social unrest in Zamboanga, the local government began a series of reconstruction work. City volunteers also did their share by distributing rice and aid supplies to temporary shelters. However, misfortune continued as torrential rain hit the area, causing massive flooding and slowing down reconstruction work. To make things worse, the mistrust between residents has also made carrying out city's relief work more dangerous.
Following the Zamboanga city crisis, 2 days of torrential rains caused massive flooding in the city. Residents seeking refuge in temporary shelters were forced to evacuate to higher ground. Tzu Chi's ophthalmology center was also damaged, yet following the volunteers' speedy response, the center reopened to the public on October 8th.
We're completely back to normal, but we were ready to open yesterday. Except that because of the severe flooding, government called off any offices. They said they asked everybody to stay home because the streets were flooded.
Currently, there are still 40,000 people who cannot find a job. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers carried out a series of aid distributions in local shelters and schools, offering rice and relief items to the needy. Now 4,000 bags of rice and 3,000 blankets are ready for the next round of relief work. However, the atmosphere of mistrust in the city has put Tzu Chi's volunteers' relief work at risk.
We have Tzu Chi members also who are locals. So that's why we make use of them. We tell them not to wear uniform or just to wear our vests, so that if there's any sign of trouble, just take out the vest immediately.
It is estimated that the budget for reconstruction will top $93 million. Some kind-hearted people in the UK therefore organized a charity concert in which all proceeds will be donated to Tzu Chi.
Continue to pray for us. The sun is really out today. And I think this is the start of a new beginning.
Despite all the difficulties ahead, Zamboanga volunteers will continue to help needy residents get back on their feet.
Following the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, Tzu Chi volunteers spent 3 weeks carrying out 13 aid distributions at a soccer field that had been turned into a refugee center. The US and Canada Tzu Chi volunteers, who were part of the original distribution, are now back in Haiti to once again hand out rice to those in need. Only this time they were joined by local Tzu Chi volunteers who organized most of the event on their own.
At the Tzu Chi aid distribution here in Haiti, 1,000 people lined up to receive their aid packs, with security being provided by the UN. However, today was far from Tzu Chi's first aid distribution in the country. Following the earthquake, the soccer field became one of Haiti's many refuge centers, with over 10,000 living here at one time. Here, Tzu Chi volunteers spent 3 weeks carrying out 13 aid distributions. Joining them were several work relief participants who would later go on to become Tzu Chi volunteers themselves and become the backbone of this most recent distribution.
The reason I'm here is presenting the love of our master and from Taiwan and from local Tzu Chi volunteers.
Handing over the rice with a 90-degree bow are not only volunteers from the United States and Canada, but also local volunteers who are volunteering their time in gratitude for this love from Taiwan. A UN peacekeeping force from India helped provide security for morning's event. Moved by what they saw, the team volunteered to also help out at the afternoon distribution in Salino. Salino is an area of narrow, windy streets, making it much more difficult to hold a distribution in a safe and orderly fashion.
We love Taiwan!
Close to 500 people gather at a local church in anticipation of the upcoming distribution. Although held outside in the streets, thanks to the security provided by UN forces, everything went smoothly.
Today, the Taiwania is mostly found in Taiwan and along the Yunnan-Myanmar border, as well as in northwest Vietnam. Thus, it is considered an extremely precious and rare species. Known as one of the tallest trees in Asia, reported to grow to some 90 meters tall, the Taiwania can only grow in a specific habitat. In our next report, we take a look at the environment that is suitable for Taiwania survival.
This Taiwania is over 30 meters tall, and it can grow even taller in the wilderness. But it all started a century ago when they grew from the seed in this cove.
When we are born, we go where the wind carries us. It's only our first step to survival, where we land, what type of environment we end up in, and whether we can adapt is the beginning of our challenges.
The sapling is a Taiwania, but don't be fooled by its appearance, as it's already 4 years old, yet it's only so tall. Does it mean that the Taiwania has a slow growth rate? But if you look at this tree, also a 4-year-old Taiwania, it's tall and steady. Why the difference?
It's not because we have a slow growth rate, it's because of insufficient sunlight and water which impact our development. Like when sunlight seeps through the high tree tops, I can grow this fast. The green scales look fine, but it's all dried out here. The Taiwania originally grew along mountain slopes where sunlight was sufficient. According to its classification, it is a pioneer species, so the more sunlight they are exposed to, the better for their growth. They also need plenty of water. In fact, all species part of the cypress family rely on sufficient water to grow.
A cloud forest environment between 1,500 and 2,500 feet above sea level is the most suitable for the Taiwania. However, excessive logging has resulted in a major decline of the species. During the Japanese colonial era up until some 10 years ago, the Taiwania was a priority for reforestation. However, as far as land is limited, the only other alternative is artificial afforestation. It's like a baby that is still in the incubator. Their survival rate will be higher, especially when it's grown in the nursery. With proper care, fertilization, and weeding, once it grows to about 30 to 50 centimeter tall, we will plant it back in the forest. Theoretically, their chances of survival are greater than that of natural growth. Except, even in a certain environment, it does not guarantee survival. Just like these 2-year-old saplings. It's possible the soil doesn't contain enough nutrients, or it might be caused by mycorrhizal fungi. It may also be an infection. This tree is no good, this one as well. To mature from a sapling into a tree is not that easy. Apart from a suitable environment with sufficient sunlight, moisture, and soil, these tree species also need to counter the threats of fungus, viruses, and insects.
With effort, we can produce great results. We have the potential to grow into the tallest tree in East Asia. We can grow up to 80-90 meters tall.
There is still a significant number of Taiwania in our forests. However, its slow growth rate and poor regeneration also contributes to the vulnerability of the tree in comparison to other species. The Taiwania endured the Ice Age and has survived till this day. Artificial seeding and cultivation is only another guarantee to safeguard the survival of this rare species. However, what they need most is a suitable habitat in which to live for generations to come.
In today's report on Indonesia, we travel to Aceh, which was one of the provinces most devastated in the 2004 Southeast Asian tsunami. 9 years have gone by since the catastrophic event, and our DaAi TV reporters have returned to find out how residents are doing and what changes have been made since then. Here's more.
看到小慈济站在门口跟大家挥手道别，志工们知道下次再见到小慈济时，它会长得更好、更健康。
Do you remember this little girl? She was born in the tent Tzu Chi set up in Aceh after the tsunami. You might wonder how she has been doing over the past few years. Let's find out.
After a 3-hour flight from Jakarta, DaAi TV reporters finally arrived in Aceh.
We're going from the airport to this port named Ule, as we're about to catch a ferry to the westernmost region in Sumatra called Sabang. We have been told that the girl and her family have moved there, so we hope we'll find them there.
In Sabang, the water is so clear that one can see schools of fish swimming in it, and ducklings are found drinking from the river.
Putar ke kanan. Ini kan ada tulis pelangnya jalan Barohan 11 km.
Here in Sabang, it is currently raining now. We have arrived at the address we have been given. However, is this the family we are looking for? We'll find out shortly.
Suci, tapi bukan. Dulu kecil nggak ada foto gini ya? Nggak ada gitu. Nggak ada.
Though not the same person, this little girl is also named Tzu Chi. She was one of the 5 babies who were all named after the Buddhist NGO. Surrounded by her siblings, the 9-year-old Tzu Chi has moved here with her family a year ago, yet she finds it difficult to settle in.
It is close to the sea here, so it is really cold.
Having left DaAi village to work elsewhere, the family now lives a simple yet happy life here. After leaving Sabang, DaAi TV reporters once again returned to Aceh to look for the girl in the video.
Ini keponakan. Mereka sekarang gimana? Baik?
Baik.
Sekarang kelas berapa dan umur berapa ya?
Kelas 3, 9 tahun.
We have driven an hour from Aceh and are arriving at an area called Long. We have found Tzu Chi's aunt, which is the lady behind me. She told us Tzu Chi's family has left the area and moved elsewhere to a place called Mulabong. In fact, the family relocated 3 times already because of their work, but they deeply missed their first home after the tsunami, which was the DaAi village.
Here at the Pentarik DaAi village, children are enjoying a comfortable and clean environment.
Our residents will gather every Sunday to clean up the area.
We hope that the DaAi village will maintain its tidiness and culture and even get better. The DaAi village is our role model.
After the devastating loss 9 years ago, the local government set up warning measures in the 4 areas that are within 3 kilometers of the sea. Emergency warning systems under the sea were also installed to detect the exact location of a tsunami within 5 minutes.
When we are informed of an earthquake, we will issue the warning because the tsunami will come in about 15 minutes time.
In every community, escape signs are set up everywhere, and a high-rise building for emergency use is also in place. All symbols of how Aceh residents have taken past lessons to heart. 9 years have gone by and residents here have moved on from the catastrophic event and have found a renewed sense of hope for the future.
We have returned to the capital of Jakarta now. As we have seen, most residents in Aceh have recovered from the tsunami and now welcome their future with hope.
Staying in Indonesia, in the aftermath of the Angke River flooding in 2002, Tzu volunteers carried out a river restoration project as well as built DaAi villages to relocate survivors. Now, years later, Tzu continues to be a part of these villages' lives as volunteers hold events every 3 months, so to give students the opportunity to shower senior residents with love and care.
Every 3 months, Tzu holds a get-together for the seniors of the Tengkaren DaAi village. Seeing their smiling faces, it's hard to imagine that these same people once lived in poverty and despair along the banks of the Angke River. Thanks to Tzu's love, these residents now enjoy warm homes and a caring community.
Perasaan saya sih yang pertama mungkin yang paling kita bisa nilai adalah
joining in this event reminded me that since my parents are still healthy, I should be as filial to them as possible because time stops for no one. One day young people like us will get old as well.
Yang muda pun cepat atau lambat bisa jadi seperti mereka.
Several Tzu first put on an energetic performance for the seniors in the audience. They are later joined by students from a Catholic school in Tangerang.
From this event, I've learned to better love and respect my elders.
Tujuan akhirnya agar
I hope that through this event, the Tzu can, no matter where they are later in life, treat their elders with respect and love. I also hope this day has been a joyful one for all the seniors who have joined us in this event.
Sedikit dari kita.
The day ends with the young ones giving the seniors a massage. For these students, the smiles they see on the seniors' face is reason enough to continue with such activities in the future.
In Taiwan, Nantou County government recently held an international tea fair and especially invited the Tzu Foundation to showcase their Jingsi tea ceremony. Over 50 instructors and volunteers traveled to the Zhongxing New Village to share with participants the humanitarian spirits behind the organization's tea ceremony.
A dignified procession of Tzu volunteers holding tea trays signal the start of the Jingsi tea ceremony. Once participants receive a cup of tea from volunteers, they start to experience the beauty and art of Tzu's humanitarianism.
The tea that was served is a joyful cup of tea, a respectful cup of tea, and a compassionate cup of tea.
Recently, Taiwan's Nantou County government held an international tea fair and invited Tzu to participate.
This is the first time our organization has joined this type of event. We hope to spread Tzu's tea ceremony to others and also recruit more volunteers to join our ranks. We hope those who come forth to learn about Tzu's humanitarianism can settle their hearts through this activity.
The over 50 tea ceremony instructors from central and southern Taiwan and a dozen of Tzu volunteers share with the audience the art of Tzu's humanitarianism and hope they walk away with Tzu's influence in their lives.
We stay in Taiwan at the end of today's program. On the offshore island of Penghu, a group of recycling volunteers who, after retirement, have all committed themselves to sorting recyclables every day at the local recycling station. These volunteers have not only gained healthier bodies, but also found new meanings to their retired life. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.